Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Music of the Week. Only 5 albums to go through, I'll get through why in a bit, but let's just get through the 5 albums. We begin with Darren Malakian and the Scars on Broadway with his-ish new album, Addicted to the Violence. I say his because Darren did pretty much everything himself, from instrumentation to production and so on. I'm giving this one a B. I think it was really good, and I think it's further proof that Darren is a really capable musician on his own without the help of the other SOAD members. There were a few guest help with this, and he does have like a band, obviously, but it does feel mostly like a Darren-driven project, which isn't a bad thing. I think his production's really good. It's solid enough, but I think some parts could have been sanded down maybe a bit less. It's polished in enough spots that I do think it's a good factor, but I feel like it can feel a tinge overdone at some points. I wish the pacing were better though. I didn't mind the experimental sort of vaults, but it feels very by the numbers and sort of like it just drifts from song to song, and has really good build-ups as well, but the payoffs don't nearly match it as well as they could. Having said that, I do like the instrumentation. There's some really good old metal trappings with some weirder elements worked in, but it is mostly the melodies that help it. Really good guitar stuff, really good drums, and sort of keyboard and bass work. Just a solid collection of instrumentation. I also like the lyricism focusing on the negativity of violence, hence the album's title. I wish the writing was as consistent as it can get. A bit less clear near the back end of the album, but again, not fully terrible, and performances are really good. Again, it is mostly Darren himself doing everything, but he's still a really good singer, he's still a really good guitarist. He's going to be like 50 this year, or he's just turned 50. I just know he was born in 1975, and that's it. But, he's still solid as he is, and the rest of the band helping him are also really good. All in all, solidly put together, and a really good bit of work. Now, this next one requires a bit of hilarious context, because it's a band named Hard Life and their new album titled Onion. And they're called Hard Life. They used to be called Easy Life, but they were sued by Easy Group, who are known for, the flight, airline, that's the phrase I'm looking for, EasyJet, and for other things branded with Easy. And because Easy Life did not have the money to stand up for themselves in court, they lost the court case, and fuck Easy Group for that. But I'm giving this album a B+ anyway, because it's just a fun bit of indie pop. I really enjoyed it. The production is brilliant. I like the layers of it, like ogres have. And it's really organic and has a lot to the sound. The performances are also really good. There's solid chemistry, and lead singer Maury Matravers, who I think produced it with... Yeah, he produced it with his brother Ben, who's also in the band, and son named Taka Perry. Really good production, by the way. I like how clean it feels, but the chemistry between Murray and the rest of his band is really good, and Murray has a lot of charisma as a vocalist. He just sounds really good and like he's having fun. The instrumentation is also good. I like the guitar work, and there's also really good hip-hop vibes and nice trumpet and keyboard work as well, and some good synth-ish stuff here and there. Just feels really nice, and there's good lyrical themes about self-discovery and trying to keep honesty even in a world which doesn't want you to stay honest. And I like that it's written with a bit of humour. It's got some good quips, got some good jokes. It's nicely put together in that way. I do like the structuring a lot as well. I think there's a good enough mix of styles, but it can suffer a few issues from flow, and it does have a few too many songs. There's 14 on it. I would argue that about 2 or 3 could have been cut, and it would have been fine, because there's just there's not even skit songs, there's just a couple of songs that are just a bit too short that really don't add anything in my opinion. But I really enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would. This is their 3rd album too, and the first one with this band change, so I guess it's technically Hard Life's first album if you want to be pedantic about it. So I'm going to tie the intro of the video to this album, because the next one I'm covering is Hall of Fangs by a band called Oscarayan. They're a melodic black metal band from Valencia/LA in California, but this was supposed to be the new Laura Jane Grace and Trauma Traps album titled Adventure Club, which I did listen to a couple of times. As I was about to review it, I found out some news that Laura Jane Grace allegedly emotionally abused her wife, and I felt uncomfortable talking about that album. I think I would have given it an A-, because it was a good album, but we're not talking about that one, we're talking about this one. I just rather not talk about something that makes me a bit uncomfortable, and I'm giving this one an A. I thought this was really fucking good. I like the lyrical things, first of all, because I like it when black metal doesn't always just talk about death and the occult. This one talks about... It has a more philosophical edge, but inspired by the near-death experience of the lead singer, Jay Felina, who did pretty much fucking everything on this album, and his experiences with, like, the mental health and the fallout after that, and it makes for some really strong and, like, heavily open writing. I just like how it's put together in that regard. Performances are also really great. I mean, Jay himself doing roughly everything, like... yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention, this is the band's first album in 9 years as well, so I think that might also play a factor into it. This is my first album by the band, so this is their third overall, but yeah. Performances bloody great. Jay, I give him all the credit because he fucking nails everything he does, although I do like that he gets help from guitarist Rashid Najib, I hope I'm saying that right, and bassist Matthew Durkee, I hope I'm saying that right as well. But it is mostly Jay and, like, his vocals and his production as well. Production's fucking great too. It's very clean and not so much without taking away anything from it. It adds a lot of good bones to the already meaty writing, which I massively appreciate. The instrumentation is also nicely laid with some really good guitar melodies and top-notch drumming, and I like that there's synth work. There's keyboard and synth work on a melodic black metal album. You don't get that on black metal, and I like how it went, and also quite like the pacing and structuring as well. It's got really good experimentation and keeps to a core formula, and this is how well it works. There's 5 songs at a time of 39 minutes and 22 seconds. And it's amazing how it manages to do that without making the songs feel overly padded. It adds more than enough to each song to make the payoffs to those songs feel really satisfying, and the closing track is a perfect example of that. Just really fucking good stuff. It did take a couple of listens for it to fully click for me, but when it did, I was completely there for it, and you might be as well. I recommend giving it a spin. Next we have our obligatory debut. We have Panic Shack with their self-titled first album. This is a sort of indie rocky punky band from Cardiff, Wales. And I'm giving this one an A+. I fucking enjoyed this one. Let's go instrumentation. Holy shit. Really love the bass and drum work, but it's the guitar that really sells it. There's some fantastic noodling and really good riffs and solos. I wanted there to be more guitar solos than there are, but the ones that we get are pretty fucking great. And I like the lyricism. There's really good feminist themes with topics like with topics like friendship, but also body image and media sensationalism and the patriarchy generally being terrible people. That's a theme I will always agree with when it comes to feminist punk. I like that there is sort of a Riot Girl influence, and also I got a bit of a Chats vibe, and I don't think I'm the only one. I haven't really seen any reviews of this, so I don't know how positive they are about it. I'm quite positive about it because it sounds a bit chatsy, and I like me a bit of the Chats because they're a good band. Production's fucking great as well. I like the raw cut of the sound, and it lets the overall sound itself feel natural and breathe, which is always quite good. Really good performances. I do not know what band member did what, but it doesn't matter because everyone's pretty bloody great, and whoever was the lead guitarist on this one, they get my, like, standout award for this album because they did the best job, but, like, everyone was really good on this album. And yeah, structuring is really good. It sticks to one thing really well, but it doesn't feel like a one-trick pony album because it switches the formula around itself, and it also just has this really good bounce and energy that carries it along nicely. And yeah, it doesn't really peter out near the end. It's got some really good bloody songs. You know, it's just a really good collection of songs with some really good themes, good writing, good instrumentation, good production. It's just really good, everything it does. So, another solid recommend from me. Yeah, A+ pretty much across the board for this one. And to finish last week, probably the album people were anticipating the most, Slaughter to Prevail with their new album, Grizzly, which I am giving a B+. This is the band's usual sort of deathcore trappings. I quite like the performances. Like, Alex Terrible is still a really great vocalist, obviously, but also the entire band is really great. Like, the guitar work is still really good from the band. I've always liked the chemistry and the instrumentation. They've always been two of the band's biggest strengths, and I like how heavy it goes. And I wanted more weird elements, but I like the overall guitar work and the drumming. I do wish there was more, like, of a nu metal flair, and also a symphonic flair, because they messed with that a couple of times on this album, and it's not really taken to another degree, but when it does show up, I'm just like, oh, that sounds really nice. I do like the structuring. The overall, like, construction of songs is good, but again, I wanted more weird things to happen. And there's the odd bit of flow, and also not helped by the fact that the album is 50 minutes and 8 seconds long. So again, maybe a couple of songs probably should have been cut. I would have cut out the one that features Ronnie Radke on it, which is 2 or 3 songs before a song that features Baby Metal on it. And spoilers, the Baby Metal song is better than the Ronnie Radke song. So yeah, I would just credit the Ronnie Radke one. I do like the lyrics and all the political stuff. I do kind of wish that they would drop the tough guy act that they like to put on, but there's really good themes with like the whole political doobery that they usually sing about, and also there's a song about Berserk, which is unironically my favourite song on the album, so yeah, I'll take that as well. I like the production too. It was handled by lead singer Alexander Shilakai, or Shikalai, aka Alex Terrible, and yeah, really good feel to the sound. It makes it feel very, very big. It can maybe overdo it at times, but I like that it gets a bit excessive because it makes the album feel a bit more fun. Next is favourite album cover and favourite song. Favourite cover is difficult. I was going to give it to Adventure Club by Laura Jane Grace, but of the albums I'm actually covering, I'm going to give it to Onion by Hardlife because it's a picture of an onion and it's really funny. That's just the album cover. You saw it earlier. It's brilliant. Favorite song is difficult because it's between We Need to Talk About Dance from Panic Jack's album and To Kiss the Viper's Fang from Oscarine's album, but I'm going with the latter because I do think it's a better song. Also, it's the closing song, and I think Panic Jack's closer, which is not We Need to Talk About Dance, is slightly weaker than Oscarine's one. But yeah, really good theming on To Kiss the Viper's Fang with great instrumentation, just really good pacing as well. And for a song that's almost 9 minutes long, the fact that it like keeps your attention for that long is really bloody good. And as for next week's albums, and the last albums I'll be covering for July, I think, we have Alice Cooper with The Revenge of Alice Cooper, The Dirty No with The Lash, Folk Bitch Trio, that's a great band name with Now Would Be a Good Time, Gore with The Return of Gore Gore, Johnny Lucas with ADHD 2, and Nefarious with Addicted to Power. So that'll about do it for me. I'll see you all later, because I've got the fourth and final night of The Golden Path to edit because of a botch I made, and thankfully one of my co-workers was there to save me from myself, which is really good. And I'll see you all hopefully tomorrow for more Yakuza Like a Dragon, because I'm taking a week off because of the Golden Path being a 4-day tournament, although it was a really fun one. So I'll see you all tonight and tomorrow and on Saturday for something. As always, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Bye-bye.